So really quickly, this is a video on how to really maximize your first 10 days of their business and get off to a fast start and really get yourself to become a stable rep. And really the objective of our program is, guys, sales is a profession for some people. People spend years and years learning sales skills and communication skills. It's funny, people will go, it's like, I want to be a doctor, I got to go through 8 years of college, and they expect to become, a great salesperson in 2 days of training. So guys, understand there is a process to learning how it goes. So, and if you've already watched the video on the learning cycle, there's 4 stages of learning. There's what's called unconscious incompetent, and what that means is that you don't know that you don't know, and that's called frustration stage, and that's where most representatives are on, like, their first weekend and also their first week, and a lot of representatives will drop out because they go into frustration stage. Unconscious incompetent means that they don't know that they're doing things wrong. So they think they're doing it right. Obviously, you didn't go through the whole training program to fail. So obviously, you're doing what you think you should be doing. But a lot of representatives, you sit in training, you don't memorize everything. They do their own type of presentation. They don't cut the rope and the leather correctly. They don't close properly. They don't learn the approaches. They don't handle the objections that customers say. They don't build enough value in the demo, and they try to do it their own way, and then it doesn't work. And so they get very frustrated, and they're like, oh, this isn't working the way I thought it was. And it's just because they're doing things wrong. Like representatives, like, should you be saying the word expensive in your demonstration? A lot of new representatives don't, okay? But of course you have to say expensive. Just like if you were selling a Lamborghini, you would tell them this is this leather in this Lamborghini is extremely expensive leather. And you would have to build it up. You should be telling them thermoresin is expensive, and the guarantee raises the price. So because a lot of reps don't build enough value during their demo, when they say the prices to customers are like, whoa, okay. They don't cut food. The representatives just make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. And that's fine. Anybody, any job, anything, you start to play an instrument, you start to play a sport, you're going to make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. You turn on a video game, you make a mistake, you fall in the hole, you don't turn the game off and say, that's it, I can't play this game and it's impossible, and throw it away. You just say, okay, jump over the hole next time, okay? Or, I can't let the guy steal the ball, or I got to practice more. And that's just with anything. It's a learning process. But, you can't just turn on a video game and win it in the first try. It wouldn't be fun. And same thing with sports, and same thing with Cutco. So understand that the mistakes that you make in the beginning, the frustration, is just because you're doing things wrong and you don't even know that you're doing them wrong. So it feels like you're doing it right, and then what tends to happen is they blame customers. Oh, my customers, my area, my family doesn't buy, my type of people, my background. Russian people don't buy, Jamaican people don't buy, Spanish people don't buy, Italian people don't buy, people in this town don't buy, and it's just malarkey, okay? So, you can go to your manager, and they probably have a box filled of pink copies of people who have bought in your area, your type of nationality, speaking your language, doing all the things. It's not the customers, it's not the product, it's not the program, it's just you. You haven't learned the program, you haven't developed the skills yet. And that's what goes on the first stage, and that usually takes about, until you get to like $3,000 to maybe $6,000 in sales, you're in that mode. How do you get out of unconscious incompetent? Well, the second stage is what's called conscious incompetent, okay? Which means that you know that you're messing up, right? And you go, okay, oh, I did that wrong. And what this goes is like, oh yeah, like even when I just taught you that expensive thing, you might have been like, oh wow, that's I didn't even know that I was doing that wrong. See, once you learn that gives you hope. It's like, okay, now I can change that. I can make it better. I can get better at this job. And that's what we want to do. That's why we have so many meetings. That's why we want you to call in after every appointment. That's why we have this video website, because you have to learn as much as possible. The more you learn, the better you get at the presentation, the more hope you have, the more you're like, okay, I can do this. So if you just do like 2 or 3 appointments and it doesn't work out because you don't know what you're doing and you're doing it wrong, and then you get discouraged and you quit, well, those people aren't a part of our team, and they never do well with our company, and they won't do well in anything. You play a video game once, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You learn the process. You get the cheat guide, okay, and tells you how to find all the different things. Like, oh, that's where that is. That's where that is. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's how you get better, okay? So the point is so how do you get from stage 1 to stage 2? Learn as much as possible. Go on field training, okay? In your first 10 days, as soon as you possibly can, you should go on field training. You should learn your close, you should go and watch every single video on this training website, okay? It's all just basic stuff. And the faster you get through all the videos and the faster you learn the presentation, the more work you put in the beginning. Once you learn those things, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. When you first get on a bike, you fall off. After you learn how to ride the bike, you don't ever have to try to learn again. You don't fall off ever, all right? So, I haven't ridden a bike in 10 years. I can get on a bike right now and ride up the street and jump over curbs and everything because of the fact that I've learned the skills. So, but when you're new, it doesn't work that way. So unconscious incompetent, you're frustrated. Conscious competent, you start learning and you start going, okay, I can do this. Okay, I know I can. I do have people to see. I can get better at the phone. I can close the sales. And guys, all you have to do is learn those processes. How to. With our job, there's only 3 things you need to learn how to do. You need to learn how to get an appointment. Okay, so my phone's going to keep ringing now. You have to learn how to get an appointment. You have to learn how to close the sale and how to do a good proper demonstration and close and handle objections. And you have to learn how to get recommendations. And then you have to learn how to manage your time. Okay, and if you could do those 3 things, that's it. I mean, that's all you have to learn. So take the time, guys. If you can get good on the phone and set up appointments, get customers to trust you on the phone, you can do a good presentation and make a sale. Any sale, guys. Our products are designed to sell. You can sell at any price range, and once you learn the skills, you can sell almost every single one. You can sell to 80-90% of the people, and if you're not selling to 80%, then your skills aren't there. And you should be getting at least 10 and then get recommendations. You should be able to get at least 10 to 20 recommendations every single time you do a demo. They don't cost any money. If you're not seeing those 3 stats, if you're not setting up appointments with at least 60 to 70% of the people that you talk to on the phone, if you're not getting 7 to 8 out of every 10 people to buy something, and if you're not getting 10 recommendations or more at each appointment, that just means you haven't learned the skills yet. And you have to keep watching the videos and learn your skills and develop your skills, because those are very basic numbers and very easy things you should be able to do. All right, so you're still in that mode. So once you get to level 2, now it's just like, okay, now I know what to do. And so your first week, you should be learning as much as possible, watching as much videos as possible, going as many field trainings as possible, coming to every single meeting, calling in, asking for help, getting as much information as you possibly can, and doing a lot of work. The best feedback is doing it. Okay, I could tell you how to play a video game all day, but if you don't actually play the game, you're not going to learn the skills. So you have to do a lot of appointments. All right. The next step is what's called conscious competent, which means you have to think about what you're doing. You're consciously going, oh, I should have done that. Okay, oh, the customer just said, I can't afford it. Okay, so I'm supposed to go and drop down and use the payment plan. So I got to say, first, here's what I got to say. And a lot of times when you're in that stage 3, it's just repetition. Now you just got to learn the skills. So, and it's like you leave the house sometimes and you're like, oh, that's what I should have said. Okay, and oh, I knew that, all right? And you call your manager instead of saying, oh, people don't buy, or saying, what do I do when this happens? You call your manager and say, this lady said this and I should have done this. See, that's how I know you're in stage 3, when you start saying stuff like that. And then stage 4, guys, is called unconscious incompetent. And unconscious incompetent means that you've done it so many times. Customers only say 5 things. You guys know them from advanced training. Can't afford it, too expensive. Some kind of procrastination. I'll get it later, or I'll ask my husband, something like that. Mine eyes are okay. And can I get pieces? I mean, that's it. That's the 5 things. On the phone, they just say, I'm busy, or can you call me back next week? With recommendations, they say, I'll give you a couple, or can you come back next week, and I'll give them to you later. Okay, that's it. That's all you got to handle. Learn those things, all right? So once you get them down, guys, then you go into stage 4, unconscious competent, and you just know what to do, and it just comes out, and the customer says this, and you do that, and the customer says this, and you do that, and that's when you can sell a lot of Cutco. And at that point, you're at 30, 40, 50% of your sales, and that's how people, make it big and are making $5,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 paychecks per week, because they've done all the work and they've mastered the skills. So